So here's a problem with most viral money guidance. It's not wrong, they're just incomplete. And incomplete guidance is expensive because if it gives you confidence without actually knowing context and structure, it's going to hurt you. And so during this episode, I'm going to break down 4 viral clips. First one is about how wealthy families raise their kids. Rent versus own, this debate again. Retirement calculators and the you're behind fear. We'll unpack that. And the last one is a widow almost losing $300,000 in equity after a tragic situation. Now, everybody sounds smart in these clips, you'll see. But very few people talk about durability because the internet loves tactics. They love shortcuts and hacks, emotional hooks. But what does it avoid? It avoids financial identity, having margin, having protection, and having a long-term perspective and structure about what you're doing with your finances. So if you build your life on partial truth, guess what you can get? You're going to get partial results. And partial results over 20 years become permanent consequences. And so this channel, the 7 Figure Squad YouTube channel, the Millionaire Responds YouTube Live is for people who want control over the money, control over the decisions, control in their future through God's authority and perspective through the Bible. How? Let's unpack this starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Who are we? Hey, 7 Figure Squad. What we go? Run it up, run it up.
Okay, let's watch this first clip.
Train their kids, and you should do the same. At the age of 5, give your child a job, a real one. Cleaning the room, taking out the rubbish, folding laundry, and pay them $5 a week. Now here's the part that most parents miss. Every dollar they earn gets split into 3 jars. Jar number 1, the giving jar. $1 goes here every week. At the end of the month, they hand it to someone in need with their own hands. This teaches them that wealth has a purpose beyond themselves. Jar number 2, the spending jar. $2 goes here. At the end of the month, they spend it on whatever they want. No judgment. This teaches them freedom and choice. Jar number 3, the investing jar. $2 goes in here. But here's the magic. You add $1 from your pocket every week. So their $2 becomes 3. This teaches them money can multiply while they sleep. By the age of 10, they won't just know how to earn money, they'll know how to give it, enjoy it, and multiply it. Most adults are still figuring this out at 40. Your kid will master it by 10. Here's
It's so soothing just to listen to, isn't he? That's just like an awesome clip. Love it. But if you teach your kids about money, but never teach them about identity, you're going to be raising earners, not owners. Now, let's slow this down. The 3-jar system, I love it. Giving, spending, multiplying. I don't hate it at all. I believe it's structured. I believe it's intentional, and it's better than chaos. But here's the real question. Who is this child becoming while they're filling those jars? Any child can see the jars filling up and just temptation seeing that to want to splurge that. Because wealthy families just don't teach money habits. They shape identity. See, I didn't grow up wealthy. My dad grew up during World War II in the Philippines. My mother, quite frankly, I was today years old back in this holiday season. I found out that my mother was birthed in a foxhole during World War II. See, we didn't have jars. We had one mindset. Don't waste, don't complain, contribute. When I joined the Marine Corps, nobody paid me to fold laundry correctly. You folded it right because that was your standard. You make your rack because that's what you're expected to do. And see, that discipline became financial discipline later on. Money habits are character habits in disguise. Now let's ground this biblically. In Acts 20, verse 35, it says, it's more blessed to give than to receive. The early church wasn't giving out of abundance. They were giving out of conviction. And Psalm 24, verse 1 says that it reminds us the earth belongs to the Lord. You see, God owns it. We manage it. That's stewardship. Jar number 2, spending. Proverbs 21, verse 20 says, the wise store up, but fools consume. Let your kids spend, but let them feel the consequences. If they blow it in a week, no bailout from you, mom and dad. Muscle grows under tension and pain and resistance. And jar number 3, multiplying. Matthew 25, the parable of the talents, my favorite parable. The servant who multiplied was praised. The one who buried it was rebuked. See, multiplication is biblical. Growth is biblical. But here's what most families skip: protection. With my kids, we don't just do jars. We did earn it, we track it, we protect it, we grow it, we give it. All of my kids have life insurance policies. Why? Because multiplication without protection is incomplete thinking. An allowance creates consumption, but assignment creates ownership, and that's the difference. All right, let's take a next look at this next clip here. I believe this is the Mr. Automatic Millionaire, I believe. Take a look at this. Rent versus own. The debate continues. Let's check this out.
Don't get in the game of homeownership and you rent in your 20s and you rent in your 30s, you're going to turn around in your 40s and having not built any net worth.
Am I not better off renting and investing in the stock market versus buying a house?
I want to bust this myth, because what happens is people come on and they go, the stock market over the last 20 years has averaged over 10% annually. People go, the returns are better in the stock market than in real estate. Yeah, but that's not apples to apple comparison. Why? When you buy a piece of real estate, when you buy a home, people don't typically pay cash for their first house. They put down 20% and they borrow the other 80%. Take a $200,000 home. You put 40 grand in. $200,000 home goes to $400,000 in 10 years. This has happened to so many people in the last 5 years. So they've made $200,000 in profit. They didn't put in $200,000, they put in 40. So they got a 5 times return on their down payment. They go to sell their house, they don't pay taxes on the gain. Because when you own a home, at least in the United States, you own a home for over 2 years, if you're single, you get $250,000 in tax-free gains. If you're married, you get over $500,000 in tax-free gains. You get tax deductions on the mortgages. So what happens is people come here and they go, you know what? You shouldn't be tied down. You need to be flexible when you're young. You don't want to have the responsibility. And you should take the extra money and you should put it in a mutual fund. And you know what happens in the real world, Stephen? People don't do that. They rent an apartment that's nicer than what they can afford, and they spend all their money.
Yep.
And then they turn around in their mid-30s and they have no equity because they haven't bought anything, and they also haven't saved money. It is an absolute freaking myth that people take this extra money that they could have used to buy a house and they're going to put it in the stock market. They don't do that. Certain influencers that are out there promoting the idea that renting is better than buying a home. And when you look into why do these people promote it, either A, it's a shtick because it gets them clicks on the thumbnail. B, they're selling something else. They're trying to get you to invest in their real estate. They're selling you in a coaching program. They're selling you, to come to their live event. But I'm telling you, when you look at average Americans, I'm talking about ordinary Americans, when you look at where their wealth is, it's in home equity and it's in the stock market. If you don't get in.
Test. So if you're arguing rent versus own, but building equity nowhere, you're losing the game either way. Let's breathe for a second. The math about homeownership, now that's real. Primary residence held for 5 years, up to $250,000 in capital gains excluded. If you're single, up to $500,000 if you're married, that's correct. Now leverage, put 20% down, control 100% of the asset, See, the powerful thing about leverage in real estate and invest, you don't get with the stock market. But the internet turns this into tribal warfare. Buy or you're broke. Rent and invest or you're smart. Lazy thinking. When I was building my agency in Chicago and all across the country, I rented. My wife and I were cash flow millionaires, and we were still renting our home. Not because I was scared to buy, because I wanted to be mobile. I was building. I was stacking skill. I was reinvesting back into personnel and staff and capital expenses and investments. But here's the difference. I didn't rent up. I didn't inflate my lifestyle. I rented and I built and expanded my capacity. So when my wife and I were ready to buy, we bought from strength. We bought from confidence, not from social pressure. In fact, our loan officer said we can have much more of a home if he wanted to. But my wife said, let's just keep it down to a payment that is like buying a cheeseburger. And we live in the house we live in today. But biblically, Proverbs 13, verse 22 talks about inheritance. Inheritance requires ownership of something that grows. It could be business, a farm, real estate, could be intellectual property, a business. The real question isn't, should I buy? The real question is, am I building equity somewhere intentionally? Are you renting on purpose? Because if you're 40 with no business equity, no home equity, no portfolio equity, that's not rates. That's structure. That's mindset. And a house won't make you wealthy. Control will. Take a look at our next clip here. I'm very intrigued about this because I oftentimes do workshops and I ask people, what's your FIN number? Take a look.
Step number 2, you need 14 single-family homes that you or wife working. Yes. What does she make? 110. You're in California?
Yep.
Annual income, it's about 80,000.
Correct.
Self-employed, yes?
Yes.
Is your wife working?
Yes.
What does she make?
110.
110. She's self-employed?
Oh, she works for the school.
So the school, let's see, not self-employed. All right. You're saving about $3,000 a month, you said?
Yeah.
We'll go 36,000 a year. How much you save per year for retirement? And then how much you currently have saved? Just a rough estimate.
My part is probably about 50. Yeah.
Okay, check it out. You ready? Okay, I'm going to push this button, and that's going to share with you how long it's going to take you to be financially free using traditional things like the market. Okay, you ready to see this? Okay, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
No problem. It's better to face it now than later.
84. Now, here's what I need you to understand. Step number 1, you're going to get there in 8 years.
Okay.
Step number 2, you need 14 single-family homes that you own, that everyone else is doing the work for you. You're not finding the properties, rehabbing the properties, or renovating them, and you need to run them through a system. We call it the passive income machine that will generate tax-free income for you. What that'll do is that'll produce $10,000, $10,200 per month of tax-free income.
Okay.
So put in your
Listen, if you don't know your financial independence number, it's called a FIN number. If you don't know that, you don't have a retirement plan. You've got a hope plan or a work till you die plan. Now, this part, what he was doing there with the calculator, I respect. They ran the math. They put data to it. See, most families never do it. I mean, look how long this guy was working for. Didn't even know what his number was in terms of $50,000 in savings. Like, that's it. You're working your entire life, only 50 grand saved up. So in my book, Gotcha, my second book, best-selling book, Gotcha, I talk about your FIN number, financial independence number. If you want $15,000 a month, for example, let me teach you this formula. If you want $15,000 a month in retirement, you multiply that $15,000 by 12 months. That equals $180,000 a year. Now use a 4% withdrawal guideline. So you take that $180,000 divided by 0.04, which equals 4.5 million. Boom. Now you're not emotional. Now you know the math. Now you know the data of what you want and the number you need to hit to get there to live the life you want to live. In Proverbs 27, verse 23, it says, be sure you know the condition of your flocks. What does that mean? In biblical times, flocks were wealth. They were assets. Today, your assets are income streams, things that you own that provides income, your protection, your margin. And do you know your number? Or are you just grinding day to day, another dollar, paycheck to paycheck? Once you know the number, the conversation changes. Why? Because now you're assigning your income, your salary, your net revenue to a job. You have income growth, You'll have tax efficiency. You'll have risk management, the financial vehicle selection that you choose to, because you can't command what you refuse to measure. All right, let's take a look at the next clip. We'll wrap up with this. Speaking of measuring, this was very impactful to me because I remember.
I lost my husband.
Oops.
I lost my husband 4 years.
Expand it like this. This clip here is so important. This is the big reason why I've been on a book tour in 18 different cities and counting. Take a look at this.
So I lost my husband 4 years ago, and we've been surviving off the Social Security and insurance payments. And the insurance company filed an appeal and froze the payments at the beginning of the year, and it just threw my finances in a whirlwind. And I went back to work after being a stay-at-home mom.
How old was your husband?
He was 36.
What happened?
He was working for a roofing company in Hendersonville, and he fell through a skylight working on a roof 30 feet.
Oh, my. I'm so sorry.
And he suffered a cerebral hemorrhage.
And the insurance company that was, what, workers' comp or liability insurance for the employer says they're not liable?
Comp. Yeah, they filed an appeal. And
you have an attorney?
I have one through Workman's Comp, and they have denied the appeal and restarted my payments. But that put me in a place where I got behind, really behind. And then by the time I got a job, I was drowning.
Yeah. So have they set a date on your foreclosure?
September the 17th.
Breathe. Home worth?
$375.
And what do you owe on it?
$64.
Okay. You are not getting foreclosed on. Breathe. I know how to stop this.
I mean, I know this is my fault.
No, it's okay. It's not your fault.
Nope.
It's not your fault. Life has happened to you. You've had a tragedy, honey. And
I wasn't taught the best discipline when it comes to money.
Sarah, to start with, I want you to breathe this in. 100%, I've been doing this for 30 years, you are not getting foreclosed on. Okay? We're not going to allow you to lose that much equity. We have our ways. Okay? It's my job to do this. Is that right?
No, that's correct.
So how old are you? Been living for 3 or 4 years, best in the world at it, okay? You're not going to lose this house. Now, so you've been living for 3 or 4 years off of insurance payments. You were not working before he passed. Is that right?
No, that's correct.
So how old are you?
I'm 40.
And what is your new job?
I work for Lowe's corporate office. It's a remote position.
Okay. And what do you make?
$20 an hour.
Okay. Good. And you're getting 40 or more hours?
Yes, correct.
Good. So can you do a budget and eat on that and pay your house payment if you were current?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. How much is your house payment?
$600.
Okay. And how many house payments behind are you?
5.
5. Okay. So you need $3,000 to get current plus some fees, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Do you own anything? 2 cars? You still got his old car?
No.
Okay.
My car got repoed last month.
Okay. All right. How are you? Do you have a car at all?
No.
Okay. All right. And so you don't have anybody around you and family and things, do you?
I lost my father 6 months before I lost my husband.
Okay. How many kids you got?
4.
Okay. How old are they?
2017, 8, and 6.
Okay. Good. Okay. All right. Are you involved in a church locally?
No.
Okay. All right.
If 5 missed payments can wipe out $300,000 in equity, you don't own your house. The bank owns your margin. They own your equity. So here's the math. You just saw there as well. Tragic type of situation when life hits, man. When life hits, the big bad wolf of life hits, you better make sure your financial home is built on financial bricks. Because let's break this down. The house was worth $375,000. The mortgage owed only $64,000. Just 5 payments behind. Needs roughly $3,000 to get current. So quite frankly, she's not broke, but she is illiquid. House rich, cash poor, equity and cash stuck in the property. And the property is not earning her a rate of return. Big difference here. Sadly, when her husband died at 36 years old, the income stopped. Insurance payments were the bridge. There was the workers' compensation through the job, the employer. It wasn't life insurance payments. This was workers' compensation we just heard here. They were the bridge. But that insurance payment froze. What happened? The cash flow collapsed. And foreclosure doesn't care about the equity that you have inside your house. It cares about your delinquency. And see, that's what we teach. Don't just build equity. You got to protect your income. 1 Timothy 5:8 speaks about providing for your household because provision includes protection. Ownership isn't about the deed. It's about the durability through life because can you survive 6 months without income? Can you survive a delayed claim through the insurance company that isn't being paid on your timing? Can you stomach a medical shock? If not, your structure or your finances is fragile. Fragile wealth eventually breaks. Meanwhile, God bless, I'm praying for this lady right here. Thank God she called in and asked for some guidance. And as we bring it all back together, we saw identity over allowance for children, structure over hype. We saw math over hope. We saw durability over equity. And this is Millionaire Response. We don't react emotionally. We don't catch feelings. We catch facts. We structure strategically. And if you're building wealth in 2026, say command in the comment section below. Say command in the comment section below. If you are building wealth this year, now stay here. Make sure you be here because in this house, we don't just make money. We steward it. Make sure it's all under God's authority. Got value from this episode? Please smash the like button. Smash subscribe if you haven't done so already. And drop your biggest takeaway in the comment section below. Appreciate you turning into this episode of Millionaire Responds. We'll see you next week from Dallas, Texas. I'm your money smart guy. And until we meet again, continue smart, continue smart, and be money smart today. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.